Hey guys, what's up? For those of you who don't know me, I'm KevSham and this is where I share my Minecraft with you. This is part 2 in the mod showcase featuring Fossils and Archeology Revival mobs. Thank you for clicking that like button. You guys helped me hit my goal, so here it is. The first prehistoric mammal I'm going to talk about is the Smilodon, also known as the saber-tooth. The untamed Smilodon will attack pigs, cows, and sheep. When the saber cat is tamed, it will act like a dog, following, sitting, and protecting its master. The Smilodon needs milk as a baby and raw meat when it becomes an adult. That Smilodon smile will also grow with age. The second prehistoric mammal I'm going to talk about is the mammoth. Mammoths are neutral to the player and will never be the aggressor, but when the player taunts that mammoth, it will throw the victim into the air, much like an iron golem, causing extra fall damage. If it's not bothered, the mammoth will act much like a sheep. You may collect their fur by right-clicking them with shears. Wheat is needed if you plan on breeding them. The last prehistoric mammal I'm going to talk about is the quagga. Quaggas are passive and tameable mobs, just like the horse. Unlike the horse, they have brown upper bodies and stripes around their heads, and their underbellies are white. You may give it a saddle and armor, and breeding requires golden carrots. Next, I'm going to go over the sea creatures. First up, the nautilus. The nautilus is basically the bottom of the food chain for these other creatures I'm going to go over. They are living fossils you can catch, release, and cook. They cannot be tamed or bred, but they spawn naturally in the world, and despawn when you're far enough away. The second sea creature I'm going to talk about is, correct me if I'm wrong, Coelacanth, which is currently critically endangered, with only 1,000 believed to be alive off the coast of Madagascar today. This fish comes in 3 colors depending on what waters they are born in. Coelacanth spawn in oceans, but can also be cloned from DNA. They cannot be tamed or bred, but spawn naturally in the world. If you see one flopping around, be a sport and put it back in the water. The next creature is called Plesiosaur. It appears to be what the Loch Ness Monster was based off. Unlike the other dinosaurs, the Plesiosaur can be ordered with a magic conch. Also once tamed, and if it's old enough, you may ride it. The Plesiosaur is a passive mob and can live on both land and in water. They will catch fish for themselves and attack dodos and chickens when hungry. We are almost done with the sea creatures. Here is Mosasaurus, a carnivorous predator. They attack certain creatures that are unfortunate enough to swim near their territories. This beast looks a lot like a flippered crocodile and acts just like one too. Mosasaurus can't be tamed nor hand-fed. I like to put nautilus in the water, they love to eat it. The last sea creature in this mod currently is Liopleurodon, arguably the most powerful marine reptile ever. Liopleurodon is a large carnivore which swims aimlessly until it wants to prey on something in its waters. It has a long body with black and white flippers for swimming. Liopleurodon is currently untamable and will act hostile to the player.
And feed him.
Nicole, no. You can't swim with the most powerful marine reptile ever.
I just want to give him a hug.
No, it does not need a hug.
We are friends. He looks like a giant penguin. Yep, he hates me.
Next up, we have some mobs with wings. First, the adorable Dodo. This bird may have wings, but they weren't designed to fly. The Dodo is most likely extinct because of it. Currently, there are 2 subspecies, and they act like chickens, only they don't float. However, they don't take fall damage. To breed them, you may feed them melon slices or melon seeds, and they lay eggs otherwise. The next mobs with wings are terror birds. Now, like the dodo, they don't fly, but they are built a little better for survival. The terror birds behave much like a mix between a chicken and a wolf, because they are neutral, lay eggs, and attack in a pack, if defensive. Allow me to name them off for you. Gastornis. I'm probably gonna butcher this one, but here it goes. Failuresaurus. Titanus. Coelacanth. Now the differences include size, colors, and health pools. Also, Gastornis is an omnivore and the rest are carnivores. Gastornis eats pumpkins and the rest like to chew on poor quaggas. The last mob with wings is the Pterosaur, a neutral reptile with no feathers. It currently does not have any subspecies, and once tamed can be ordered by an arrow. You may feed them fish, chicken, or nautilus. But Pterosaur used to fly in this mod, but has been temporarily disabled for improvements, so I won't go over the flying controls. The final category of mobs I'll go over are basically just new enemies. This one, for example, is called Failuresaurus. Obviously an egg or DNA experiment gone wrong. They behave a lot like zombies, making the same noises and burning in the sunlight. They currently come in 2 different colors. I wouldn't call them subspecies, but 2 different colors. The second enemy is called Dead Bones. They appear to be skeletons, but behave like a passive zombie, and they burn in the daylight unless submerged in water. The thing is, you find them in shipwrecks, which are usually underwater anyways. Unlike most mobs, it can walk underwater rather than floating upwards. If an enemy is passive, is he an enemy at all? The last enemy mob is more of a boss named Anu. Anu is supposed to spawn in the nether and attack the player if he or she is spotted. For now, it can only be spawned by enabling it in the config file. However, I couldn't find any information regarding the file or the boss. Maybe he's disabled or not ready yet. If you have any information about it, please leave a comment. I think it's a good place to end part 2. We have covered all the mobs, which is more than half the mod in my opinion. I can do the rest of the mod in part 3 if you're interested. Thank you all for watching. Also check out these other videos if you have time. Comments are always welcome. Until next time, KevSham out.